Hello everyone. This is Disgruntled Elk coming back at you with another Hammer League video. And I'm running basically the same list that I had, a few weeks back. I definitely wanted to put something out earlier rather than now, but whatever's going around got me. So I was bedridden for a couple days, but we are back. We pretty stock configuration. The one big difference is we have 23 lands, the 23rd of which is the Horizon Canopy. All I did was I cut the Steel Shaper's Gift for that one. Without the Steel Shaper's Gift, Paradise Mantle definitely loses a little bit of utility. So right now I'm just on 3 Springleaf Drums, which is fine. You can go 3 drums or 2 drums and a mantle. Both are completely fine. 1 Nettle Cyst, 1 Cauldra. Nettle Cyst is a nice tutorable body for you. Other than that, pretty stock. 2 Skills, 2 Pierce, and 2 Giver are our protection suite in the main. And then a whole swath of sideboard stuff. So yeah, just a ton of red-black. So Sanctifier is good. It's also pretty good against blue-red. Against Cascade, I like Lavinia and Drannith. Against specifically Underworld Breach, Drannith is good, so that's why we have the split. You could also probably cut 1 Drannith and play a 4th Sanctifier right now because there is just a ton of red black. Plus the additional 2 Blacksmith skills right now. I think the card's really, really good. Always have. Pithing Needle, I like as a catch-all. It's good in the mirror, a lot of things like that. The one thing I do want to note is that I have this Temple Garden to fetch with one of my, I believe, 8 fetch lands. Yep. And the Horizon Canopy for this 1 Haywire Might, which comes in from the sideboard. Really, really good card. It answers a lot of different things. And all I had to do to make the mana work was go up, make it a little bit more fetch heavy, and then I cut the 4th plains for a Temple Garden. So pretty good. Other than that, our removal suite is pretty mixed. We have a Path, a March, a Prismatic Ending, and then sometimes like the Haywire Might counts as a 4th removal spell, depending on what you're fighting. Pretty happy with the list, been doing well with it, and let's go ahead and jump into round 1. All right, we are back for round 1. We won the die roll, so that's like pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, we have a turn to Ginger Brute plus Hammer here, so don't hate it. One thing I am going to do is I think I'm going to likely lead on Sigarda's Aid, because if they kill the Ginger Brute proactively, then we're in pretty big trouble. But if they don't, then we're usually good to go. Wish them good luck. The argument to play the Ginger Brute first is in case you're worried about like Prismatic Ending. I'm not worried about Prismatic Ending, just a gut check here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. The other thing to keep in mind is Sigarda's Aid in play right now in the meta is usually a lot safer because they can't pierce it and they can't make you discard it with like Inquisition, Grief Blink, or whatever. All right, and opponent mulligan to 5, so that helps too. I'm just gonna go ahead and play a normal basic plains here. Let's see what you got. Ooh, that's a fun one. So I think I'm just going to play Arid Mesa and attack with Ginger Brute. Next turn we can go Hammer plus skill. I like it. And let's attack. I don't think I need to fetch here. Let's see what they do. Okay, Green Tron. So easily could be like a Leyline Binding. Of course, we're pretty insulated from Leyline Binding with this Colossus Hammer. So huge fan of that. We get to crack in for 11. So we have them dead in 2 turns here. Okay. So they have Island, Mountain, Plains, Forest. So Leyline Binding does in fact cost 2 mana right now. I'm not going to fetch because if I fetch, they can respond by using the Leyline Binding. And I don't think with kind of the cards I've seen so far, I really need to worry about my life total that much. So next turn I can untap and either just fetch a basic plains or I can go get a Hallowed Fountain. And I think I'll probably go get a Hallowed Fountain because I'm not super worried about getting Blood Mooned here. Okay. So now we can lead with Sentinel. Yeah. I don't think there's a reason not to play no reason not to play the land, because if they have like 2 removal spells in response, I don't want to be stuck in that awkward position. Because if I play Sentinel without playing the land, they can like kill the Ginger Brute in response. I fetch in response and they kill it with like another removal spell. All right, cool. So here I'm going to fetch first. Get me a Hallowed Fountain. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll take the point of damage, doesn't matter. If they use another removal spell, of course, we get to Blacksmith skill in response, making it a 3/3 and heading up for 13. Okay, so Spell Pierce. Yep, that's unfortunate, but is what it is. Unfortunately, we did not have a Spell Pierce back. I will go ahead and just protect, get in for my 3 points. So this is very likely creativity, if I had to guess, because that's Ren and 6 mana. Yeah, so if I hammer first instead of playing Sentinel, then, so if they Ren and 6 here, okay, ending on the 8, yeah, deal. Okay, we have this nice backup equipper here, so I'm pretty happy. Okay, Prismatic Ending, I think this is just a soup. Like, looking at it now, it's much more like color soup list. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna crack this first. Don't hate it. It's not great though either. Let's just go ahead and attack for 2. Drum, pass the turn. So we know they're stuck on land as well. We can go Stoneforge Mystic, grab Hammer, play Hammer probably. All right, so at least we draw a card off of this. Oh, there we go. We just draw a Hammer, so they're dead. Makes sense. Yeah, so now we get to, yeah, I definitely probably should have just not played that first, but they don't have free removals. So do this. This gets us to our 3rd artifact. Let's kill them. Okay, so they had, obviously Ren and 6 came down late, but they had Pierce, Bolt, Prismatic Ending. Pretty good. All right, so against the Ren and 6, it's probably creativity. They're probably just playing like Prismatic Ending, maybe overlay line binding, but I'm not totally sure. So I definitely like all these. Spell Pierce is good at almost every stage of the game against them. Nettlesis is pretty medium because it just like doesn't a good sized body, but usually since I do think their creativity, it is pretty unusual for the Nettlesis to matter that much. So and then we can trim at least an Ornithopter or 2. We didn't see any black mana, so I'm not going to worry about Sanctifier. If I know they are on heavy Persist and Archon Lake Reanimation package, then I am much more likely to consider the Sanctifier, but I didn't see any of that. Path to Exile is a consideration as well. Go ahead, cut these 3 for these 3. I think we can also some, if not both, Givers for like a Needle, and we could bring in the Haywire. If we bring in Haywire Might, it's to address Leyline Binding, which they probably have. They're a 4-color, very likely creativity deck. So I don't. Or I'll just try running. Giver is pretty good against the blind because you can just go Giver, Stoneforge, Cauldron. That being said, this hand is because we know that they do have Prismatic Ending. I'm much less excited about running this Sigardizade. I would honestly like to just just draw like a drum here. Really good. Okay, they mulled to 5 again. All right, so a good plan in every matchup turns out is actually just your opponent mulligan to 5 a bunch, and you keep good 7s. And so the Arid Mesa means that they can go like Spell Pierce us. So if I wasn't going to run out the Sentinel before, I'm certainly not now. I'm gonna make sure I didn't bring in the Haywire Might. Okay, and because I'm 99% sure I'm not gonna get Blood Mooned, Hollowed Fountain, play Esper Sentinel. And if they are creativity, then we know they don't have Fury, because you can't really creativity with Fury in your deck. I guess you technically. I am going to play out the Ornithopter here in case they like kill the Sentinel on the spot and we draw Hammer. Yeah, they fetch. Okay, Rogren Triumph. Also, if they play like Ren and 6 and tick down, and tick down to kill the Sentinel, then we could actually like Blacksmith Skill the Ornithopter to give it +2/+2 and kill the Ren and 6, which I would absolutely. Oh man. Oh man. So I don't think I want to play Urza's Saga this turn. I think I want to go like Plains Sentinel. Go like Plains Sentinel Aid, and then the following turn we can play Stoneforge off of Saga plus Hammer. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I will just attack with my ferocious 1 power here, and so I'm gonna run out the Aid. If they pierce here and we draw 2 cards, okay, I'm pretty happy with that as well. Especially since they mold to 5, being up cards is really powerful. Okay, so we get to go Saga, play Stoneforge off of Plains Saga, probably go get Hammer, attack for 2. Ooh, what's your Fable? Okay, yeah, draw 2 cards. That's fine. That's a nice one. So we can go Urza's Saga, Drum, play Stoneforge off of Ornithopter, tapping Drum, and Plains, and then we actually get to hold. Then we get to hold up skill for if they go like land, dude, fetch, make a guy, and Shaman. Yeah, I like that. I think we can play it a little bit slower. I don't think so. If we attack here, and I'm gonna tap the Drum here because tapping the Drum means that we have this Hollowed Fountain mana up, even if they like kill our entire board. I'm just going to get a Colossus Hammer here. Pass a turn, and we have either Blacksmith Skill or Colossus Hammer up, which are both really good. So get to loot here. They don't have any black mana. Once again, I don't think they're a persist version of the deck. We haven't seen a single black source, and like we also haven't seen any looting besides Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Okay, so Nature's Claim and Leyline Binding, so they were probably short on lands, would be my guess, which makes sense because they didn't have Wrenn in 6 and they mulled to 5. So next turn, I think I'm going to play out the Urza's Saga because I just want to grab multiple pieces. I don't care about making every construct. And I will probably play the Saga before I do anything else because that'll tell me how much to play with. Take 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 13 power, and they're effectively at 15 with the Wooded Foothills fetch. If they do go to kill a creature, then we can Blacksmith Skill it to kill them. So if we do put in a hammer, we definitely want to put it on like a Sentinel or an Ornithopter because that'll create the extra damage off the. Whereas if we put it on the Stoneforge and they like kill the Stoneforge, of course, Woodsmith Skill does not pump. Paying costs, so probably a Prismatic would be my guess. To Fairy Time Route. All right, well let's see if they let. Okay, so. What do I let happen? I don't know what their plan. Okay, so is their plan to like pierce the 8 on the way back down? Could be. That's a really nice hit here. Okay, so if we go Saga, so we can go Saga, Aid. We can then play Stoneforge and put in a hammer off of the Stoneforge Mystic at instant speed, which is pretty sweet. I'm just trying to think if, yeah, I think we just go Saga. Yeah, so we play Saga. We play Stoneforge Mystic off of plain Saga. We probably play Aid. So we play Aid. I don't have Spell Pierce. That's pretty nice. And now we can like activate Stoneforge Mystic, which I don't hate. Also like just Stoneforge Mystic for Kaldra, also really good. Yeah, I don't hate that. If we get Hammer and they kill the Aid in response, then doesn't matter, right? So yeah, I like Kaldra here. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Probably put it on the Ornithopter. You could also just like, so they can definitely Leyline Binding. If we just attack both Sentinels and the Ornithopter. So we attack both Sentinels at the Teferi, Ornithopter at them. I don't hate that. And then we actually don't even need to put the Kaldra in. Yeah, all right. Because I can let them decide what they want to do. Because I definitely want to get Teferi off the board if possible. Let's get this Teferi off the board. Teferi down. That's cool. That's cool. Kind of like that a lot, actually. Because now we can hammer plus skill. And then Sagas are going off for the next 2 turns, grabbing more hammers. This is definitely a match where I would have loved Spell Pierce at any spot, but your opponent mulled to 5. You can't be too sad about, oh, I didn't draw my. So I think we just take this hit. And then if they creativity for X equals 2, I can also like block. I think I don't need to block at all. Okay. We're fetching. Okay, Dwarven Mine, you got it. Also, the question is how many cards do I get to draw off the Sentinels? So they're like almost definitely creativity. It's a question of, okay, so X equals 2. So let's draw a Spell Pierce, please. Okay. So they almost, yeah, I mean, I'm piercing. Oh, okay. I didn't expect it to work. What? Okay. What? I'm so confused. So next turn we are probably not making a construct. I mean, we could put in we could make a construct like that. And then hammer comes in, hammer attaches to construct. And then we can then still Stoneforge the Kaldra in onto the construct, which will be a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the construct, 5, 16. Yeah, fine with this because this way we can also, I believe, hold up skill. Let that part. If we put it on the Sentinel, so we can put the Kaldra on the Sentinel, put a hammer on the Sentinel, put a hammer on the Sentinel, and then it's like way beyond anyway. Yeah, so we're just gonna float. Yeah, just get a hammer here. And go ahead and activate this because we have 2 skills as backup. I just need to make sure to stack my triggers correctly. So Aid first. So you let the Living Weapon trigger resolve, and then the Aid trigger will resolve. And the nice part here is they have to kill this now. Otherwise, the Kaldra will just Nature's Claim. Absolutely not. I guess I'll draw my absolutely. Okay, cool. And yeah, your opponent mulling into 5. is a really good strategy. Their hands were very good 5s, but still. All right, I'll see y'all in the next round. All right, so we are back for round 2, and we wisely won the die roll. And we have an Urza Saga, 2 ways to get hammers, and a Paladin, and 2 Sentinels on the play. His hand is really good. His hand, in fact, is so good that I think one of the only ways we lose is if we like get Blood Mooned. So I think I'm just gonna fetch a basic Plains. I also like don't have makes it a little bit easier. Pass the turn. Dark Slick Shores. I have no idea what. I do know that the second Esper Sentinel is probably good though. Okay. So we could go Urza Saga, Stoneforge Mystic, go get a hammer, and then next turn probably make a construct. Maybe start with just our nice little clean attack for 1. As good as Esper Sentinel is here, second Esper Sentinel, because then if we go get a hammer with the Stoneforge Mystic and then we rip either a aid or a like an Ornithopter, then we hit Metalcraft because we'll have Paladin play the hammer and that. So yeah, I'll just do that. Use all our mana. I do think playing second Esper Sentinel close there though, and I think getting less, a little bit less likely now that we've seen actual Dark Slick Shores. So this, if I had to guess, Dark Slick Shores Bobble, it's probably like an Asmo deck. Not 30. It could be a few different decks. 6 here. So you know about the hammer. Let's get to draw a card here for nope. Okay. Esper Sentinel doing a lot of work here because these baubles cost 1. A bauble that costs 1, this might be a hot take, is much worse than a bauble that costs 0. Who did they bob? Targeting, sure. Yeah, you got it. So they're thought seizing me. Okay, and they bobbled themselves. Yeah, so Thought Seize Me. They go to 16 off of this. Depending on what they take here, that will pretty significantly impact my next turn. Like, you're definitely supposed to take Paladin here, right? Okay. I hope I draw a 0. Or a drum would do it too. Okay, there's a 0. And so, like, I'm glad I was able to talk out exactly what I was thinking before it actually happened. And we're going to do it this way, of course, because there's nothing they can reasonably do to stop us from drawing a card or equipping the hammer. All right, and I'll put it there. Crack in for a cool 12 damage. And because they aren't on red removal, it doesn't really matter if we move the hammer to the Paladin because it can get fatal pushed either way. But they conceded, so it didn't matter. Okay, so they're a black deck. I don't want to do too much, but I do know that they're going to be pretty high on interaction. So Blacksmith skill, probably very good. Nettlecyst, probably pretty good because it's a body. Ornithopter is probably really bad, so I will not play Ornithopter. And I'm gonna cut at least 1 drum, potentially 2. Blue-black deck probably is playing Engineer Explosives. When in doubt, you can always bring in that. Sad about it. And I don't think we want to do too much else. We could cut another drum. We do have room for 2 cards to come in. I bet most of their removal is black, so Sanctifier seems pretty reasonable. Could do this. Yeah. Just play high impact cards and board out low impact cards. All right. Yeah. So against the blue-black deck, Urza Saga, usually really good. Of course, we can expect things like Drown in the Lock probably, but also Dress Down. So I will play around that as much as I can, but I'm just not going to worry about it too much. Yep. So Thought Seize Me, it's probably take the Sanctifier, but they could also take Giver here. Blacksmith skill. So they probably have another discard spell. So Cigar to Zade, good hit here. Yeah, so we just draw into the combo piece after they Thought Seize. Okay. So they bobbled, targeting themselves. So is the top card good or bad? All right, EE. Yep. So that's why we brought in the needle, that we can go get off of this awesome saga here. Oh, that's deck, please. Deck, I need people to think I'm actually good at this game, not just draw real good. And so here I'm actually going to get Nettlecyst, I think. Kaldra, so I think it's Nettlecyst. I think that's fine. Kaldra is really close. I think they're very likely to have like land removal spell pop EE. Yeah, so there's the land. So they were definitely supposed to just pop their EE. Okay, so I don't think there's much reason for me to do anything here. Trying to think if getting it for the 1 point of damage is worth it. And I kind of would rather put Nettlecyst into play plus hold up Spell Pierce. Yes, they know about Nettlecyst. Hammer, Sanctifier, and Giver. Okay, so they know about every card but the Spell Pierce. Okay. So, yeah, Hollowed Fountain here. And I'll make a dude. If they dress down, then. And now, if we untap and they dress down, we get to Pierce. And if they pay for the Pierce, then we get to Hammer. Okay, so I'm definitely not making a construct. I think I'll just, so I can either float mana or I can pass priority. Because EE is not on 0, I'm just going to float. And the reason to pass priority is if I just say, okay, pass, and they, like, then they have to react, like, otherwise the saga goes off. And I go get Needle, and I name EE before they can do it. Oh, okay. So just letting me have it? Okay. Yeah, I'll grab Needle and name Engineered Explosives. Cool. All right, huge fan of that. Now I kind of just want to put a hammer in. Yeah. And the reason I'm doing this, even though they probably have a counterspell, is I just have so many ways to use my mana this turn. So like if they Archmage Charm, so I put it on the construct here. Yeah, all right. Wow, okay. Sorry, I didn't think we'd get this far. And I don't think we want to attack with Stoneforge the Kraken with the construct here. Hit him for a good old 13. And now we have another lethal threat that can come out of this Stoneforge Mystic and the Nettle Cyst. Okay. That one's in a rough here. Ooh, Bantu's Last Reckoning. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is sick. I love that card. It's not good, but I love that card. All right, cool. I will see y'all. I don't know what we just played against, but I'll see y'all in round 3. All right, so we are back for round 3. We are once again on the play. We are taking really good lines. Unfortunately, this hand is trash. This hand is fine. It's not great, but it has Giver and Urza's Saga, and that's just good. So I'm gonna keep this hand, and I think I'm gonna bottom the second hammer probably. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right. Yeah, go Plains Giver. I don't think it makes a huge difference if I get a Hollowed Fountain or a Plains there. Fine, might as well save the Arid Mesa. Kill the Giver here. No, okay, we're playing against Burn. So, glad I didn't fetch Shock. Okay, that's really nice. Okay, so we need to consider if... No, I wish I had kept the second hammer. And then Paladin's exactly the card that makes keeping second hammer a real consideration. So if we play Inkmoth Hammer, and we would need to then draw exactly another... I think I was going to play Saga in here. The Pure Steel is obviously a lot safer in my hand than on the battlefield. I will attack for 1. Giver is almost in no world blocking, and so keeping her really important. And I am going to play Inkmoth Nexus this turn because by doing so, when we make that second construct, potentially, it means we will have additional white mana to play with because the Arid Mace will be the next. Okay, you got it. So we will go ahead and play Inkmoth here, and we will not attack now because we're gonna plan. The plan will be to make a construct, and then the construct can block the Swift Spear. If we leave up the Giver, then we get to do that. Just kill the Giver. Okay, sure. So they should have done this the previous turn because then they would have actually just gotten in an additional point with the Monastery Swift Spear. So I should technically be at 15 instead, which in this matchup, single points like that really do. So I will not make a construct to block this turn. Yeah, they can attack for 1 if they want. That's fine. Boros Charm me, you got it. And I'm pretty happy with my spot. Okay, so we'll make a dude. See if they kill the dude. Does the dude? Dude did not die. Okay, so if we float mana here, we can go get a Shadow Spear, play Paladin off of fetching, and then we can animate the Nexus. Okay, so just nothing. Huge fan of that. You can get a hammer here. I don't think it matters is the big piece. So if we get another hammer, they just die, right? So that's probably, of course, if we hit them for like 1, 2, 3, 13, play that. Yeah, I'm just gonna get yes, because if we grab a hammer, hammer comes in, we still have 3, so they have to kill the construct in response. we use the floating mana to animate the... Yep, so we'll just get a hammer, and that way we have them killed 2 different ways. And I will actually animate the Ink Moth right. I could also play Drum here, right? If we play Drum, it's free because we can just play Paladin. Probably correct to just play Drum. It is an extra point. I guess if we do that, then we can't animate the Ink Moth Nexus before equipping hammers. Yeah, so we just do this here. Boop, boop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, did I take a lot of time thinking about that? Yes. Would I have done that in a normal game? Probably not. Was it worth taking the extra minute to make sure that I didn't screw it up? Absolutely. Okay, so definitely want the ending and the Spell Pierce because this matchup is mostly about, like, don't, one, get super pressured, but mostly it's about make sure you don't lose to Deflecting Palm, and Spell Pierce is a really good way to do that. Blacksmith skill is good because it does protect things like Shadow Spear, which Shadow Spear. I like Sanctifiers in some number, but I think like 2 is probably fine. I don't think you need. So definitely these 5. I think Nettle Cyst is a lot better when you have things like Sanctifier. Cauldra is probably too slow. I think Canopy, I don't think we want the extra land here. I think on the draw, Sentinel's not very good. So cut those. I do like the drums generally. I think you can trim 1 so we can do like an extra skill and a march and then trim 1. Drum is probably fine. I could trim a third. That's probably and so Haywire Might is a consideration as well because it does block and it gains 2 life. But for right now, actually I am gonna bring it because it can kill a hammer and gain 2 life. Or it can kill like a Roiling Vortex, which oftentimes the decks play. So yeah, we'll give this a shot. Okay, so we have a turn 1 removal spell. I kind of like this hand. It's not insane, but it does have Saga, which is obviously very powerful. We have an Equipper and we have early interaction. So kind of hard pressed. Oh, lava. Okay, sure. So, ooh, okay. So this could be a turn where we just get to play the Hallowed Fountain tapped for free. Kind of like that. All right. And this is definitely a matchup where having the heavier fetch shock mana base is a little rougher. But that being said, I think on the whole, it's still your matchup a little bit better. So Springleaf Drum is a nice hit here. So I think I'm just going to go Drum off. So Saga, Drum, ending the guide. Yep. This also means that we're using our cheap spells before they get an Eidolon down. Did they must have kept a 6 or did they keep a 5? Okay, they kept a 7-card hand, so I don't feel bad. What we got? So this turn we are likely just making a construct with the goal of next turn Paladin and getting a Shadow Spear. So they also, like, one thing to note is that they probably have Deflecting Palm. That's the only thing that explains why they would keep a 1-land hand, or maybe they just kept a bad hand. So I will actually play the Nettle Cyst here, and I'm doing this because Nettle Cyst is actually going to be like bigger than the constructs because it counts the Urza Sagas, and it we can always move. Okay, second land. Okay, so they have Deflecting Palm up. Like, that's literally what's happening here. Okay, so I will just make a construct here, pretty sure. I also don't hate just getting like a cookie, and then the cookie will just let us gain life. Yeah, I think we just do this, grab cookie. Ooh, we could grab Haywire Might too. I don't hate that. Yeah, Haywire Might's like just pretty much strictly better than cookie here. That's hot. All right. And then we can make a construct and play the aid off of Hallowed Fountain. And we're just pressuring them in a bunch of different ways. So get to Kraken for 1 or for 7, which is way more than 1. If they let this go, then we just hit them for 7. If they Deflecting Palm the Germ, then we go ahead and exile the Nettle Cyst, countering the Deflecting Palm and gaining 2 life in the process. Yeah, like a bunch of Deflecting Palms are the only reason this hand makes any. Oh my gosh, no way. Boop. Haywire Might doing God's work here. Gain 2 life, go up to 14, and shrink down the construct, which is actually nice. And we get to potentially bait. So here I think I'm actually just going to get a Yeah, okay. I was like, I'll just go get a Shadow Spear, probably put the Shadow Spear on the Ornithopter, just start cracking in, gaining some life, and going from there. So like that's an example of, unless they are pressuring you with like creatures, you usually don't need to go that aggressive against them. You can usually play like that longer game, especially if like, okay, they're turn 1 Lava Spike, turn 2 Lava Spike. So if your opponent keeps a 7 where they're like not attacking you with creatures really early, especially on the play, that means a couple things. Like one, it means they probably either just like didn't keep a really good hand, or two, they think that Deflecting Palm will like single-handedly win the match, which if you are smart and you play around it when you can, then it simply won't. But anyway, I will see y'all in round 3 or 4. All right, so we're back for round 4. We decided not to win the die roll this turn, which was pretty ambitious, but we figured we'd mix it up. This hand is great. It has 2 equippers, a hammer, and like a couple drums. Like, I don't really want 2 drums, but honestly, it's fine. So question is, what? I feel like I recognize the name, but okay. So yeah, it's definitely Monkey. Okay, that's nice. So we just go Sigarda's Aid here on 1. Yeah, I don't think it's particularly close, especially game 1 where they don't have a lot of answers to it. And like, even if they leave up Counterspell, I'm just going to start like jamming Stoneforge Mystics into it. Okay, so they took the Temple Garden. It's fine. Okay, so they don't have a second land. Love that. Ooh, and Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga is really nice. Yeah, because that'll be an uncounterable hammer a little bit later in the game. Because this Stoneforge is absolutely trading for the Ragavan if I get the chance. I could also just like play 2 drums here. Like, if we play 2 drums, then the constructs start out as 3/3s. We can probably afford to take another hit because I think it's likely they just have like a removal spell here, right? Just do that. Hopefully they like pierce it. Yeah, like this. This also works towards Metalcraft really quickly. So yeah, like a lot of reasons to play it this way. All right. Had not considered that originally, but I think it's probably correct. Because like it's almost 1,000% assured that they just have like a bolt or an holy heat off of the treasure token. So not letting them use that that bolt efficiently is good, even though of course treasure token isn't really a way to save the mana. Okay, yeah, they can Nettle Cyst if they want. Doesn't look like. I respect it. So it's they like almost definitely have a counter spell here. So I am not going to cast a Stoneforge Mystic. I kind of like that I haven't. Okay, so they drew a land. Got it. So like, do we care if they hit us? I guess I don't really care. Let's see the Ragavan, because this still dies. I think I just take the hit. How weird. What a weird, because ideally what we want to have happen is we want the hammers to go on like a Stoneforge Mystic or a Paladin or something that they can't Archmage Charm. Am I taking 2? And I think they're leaving the DRC back here because they are obviously concerned about hit. Planes, all right. Only got one of those left. They're concerned about just dying on the backswing, which is a fair. Planes. Am I gonna get like Shadow of Doubted here? That'd be sick. Shockingly, I know. I think they're just kind of hoping there's no hammer in my hand. And so the question here is, do we make another construct? And I think the answer is no, because our mana is gonna be so tied up. Yeah, it's another 5/5 though. It's pretty good. Okay. If they kill this, then I will make a construct, but doesn't look like they are. Okay, so we did hit a land, which is really nice. So if we go tap Saga, tap Plains, make a con, we can then grab a hammer, put the hammer on the cons. If they kill it in response, we float a mana. I think it's correct. Like if they dress down in response, that sucks, but it is. Main deck dress down is not super common right now, but I also wouldn't be like shocked to see it because it is just a good card. It cycles, replaces itself, all that, all those words we like to use. Yeah, I think Archmage Charm is the much more likely card than Dress Down here. That's not a super common one either. Okay, so I'll let that trigger resolve, and of course I'm gonna float mana. Bend a counter spell. Okay, construct down. Okay, let that resolve. Float mana, why not? And so here we're probably we could get a hammer, or we could grab a Ginger Brute. I kind of like hammer here. I mean, if we grab Ginger Brute, then we get to go Stoneforge, grab hammer, throw hammer on the Ginger Brute, right? That's pretty good. Yeah. It is unfortunate that we have to shock. Okay, so they probably have a counter spell here. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Okay, go get a hammer. Yeah, and then I'll attack with Ginger Brute. I think I just let this happen. Okay, cool. And I'm fine blocking the Ragavan with the Stoneforge here as well. Yeah. Do you have a counterspell? That's fine. Counterspell or Bolt is fine. Spell Pierce. All right, sure. Nope. So trade off here. So if we hit a land here, we get to Stoneforge plus grab Hammer plus play Paladin. Okay. Shadow Spear's not a bad one. Stoneforge here. You do it. Woo. Okay. And just get a hammer. You got it. Let's do it again. Okay. Put that there. So if they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. That's fine. Okay. Sure. So now we get to go Paladin. Ooh, that's a nice one. So now we get to go Sentinel first and then play Paladin and now move the Shadow Spear for free. Huge fan. I will note my opponent just like has not drawn lands. He's just drawn all gas, which is usually not great. All right. I think I'm just going to block with the Pierce Seal here because we have the 8. I don't think I care that much about the Pierce Seal sticking around. I think I'd rather have the tax against the opponent that isn't drawing lands. What a weird, what a weird game. I love it. All right. I'm trying to think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't think we need to play the Paladin yet. Petty Theft. Okay, are you going to use both treasures? No. Yep, you got it. So they're probably going to hit lands. I have faith that they will hit lands. Okay. So Bauble was the exiled card. I'll take another Saga too. I'll take another Saga, a Stoneforge. We've seen 2 hammers already. We've seen 2 hammers. They did not hit a land again. So they did target me, so they know this top card. All right. Might as well play the Ornithopter. Very little reason not to. Play the Sentinel. I think we just equip this here. They have like a Bolt here. If they do, they do. Okay. Maybe they won't pay, and I will draw a pay. Oh, that was bad. Definitely meant to tap that for mana. Luckily, it doesn't make a huge difference here. I don't think I'm going to pay that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do shock this in, then we get to play the Paladin, which means we could potentially play the Cauldron next turn, which is pretty big game. They do have a million card types, so Unholy Heat. I'll just put it on the Ornithopter. I guess we put it here, right? Because that way, if they like dashing a monkey, we can safely block the monkey. Yep. When your Metalcraft's going and your opponent's tapped out, you don't need to think as hard. All right. Our opponent is on like the 8 land version of the deck. Like, please, just draw lands. Okay, Lightning Bolt. Sure. Yeah, you got it. The rare turn 9 untapped Spire Bluff Canal. Love it. Okay, I'll take it. Let's go get a hammer. I'm gonna put the hammer in now. Put it there. This game should be over. I guess, no, just hitting them for 11 has to be right. All right, so now we have, every land in our deck is a good draw. Okay, we did it, man. That was a really strange game of Flood. We had like a pretty flooded hand. Okay, so against Murktide, especially on the draw, I like ending because being able to tag a monkey for just 1 mana is really, really helpful. Sanctifier, keeping their DRCs from getting Delirium as well as their Unholy Heats is pretty good. Also, the vast majority of their removal is going to be red, so Sanctifier is good. Ornithopter is like really bad. It doesn't do anything. Cauldron is definitely the card that I kind of wobble the most on in this matchup. I think because we have the Sanctifiers and they play so well with the Nettlecyst, I think it's fine to cut the Cauldron because this will be a threat on its own as well. I have started to like the Spell Pierces more as they have started to keep more like 3 mana spells post board. And of course we bring in Needle for explosives. I don't like going that low on drums usually, but we do have the extra Horizon Canopy, so we could cut the Horizon Canopy instead, but I kind of just like hitting my land drops in this matchup. Let's try it. Blacksmith Skill, of course, is just like my favorite card. Path to Exile is also a card you can consider. I like it less, but it is completely reasonable. Okay, so because we do have white, I will just lead with Windswept Heath and potentially Spell Pierce, but we have both parts of the combo, so this is an easy. And a lot of times this matchup will get pretty grindy, so just having a 7-card hand that's good, that's reasonable, is often post-board. Pre-board, it's a little... Okay, so they did keep a 7. Okay. Nettlecyst is honestly kind of a nice... I wouldn't mind a Sigardizade here, but I'm not going to complain. So one thing to note, and when you're playing against Murktide, you do want to note this. How many basics are they fetching early? Because the more basics they fetch early, the more likely that they are to try to Blood Moon you out. Consider if I can get away with it, I will just get this into play tapped. Yep. Okay, so it's right now it's looking pretty unlikely that we get Blood. So I feel even more confident just grabbing yours here, or grabbing the Hallowed Fountain. Oh, okay. So I kind of like going Sentinel off of Plains, and then next turn we can Pierce, which plays really nicely with the Sentinel. The other option, of course, is just jam Stoneforge Mystic, but getting the Sentinel into play could be really big. So I kind of like it. This also potentially means that we will either draw a card off of this, or they'll spend like their entire next turn trying to kill it. Sentinel obviously plays really well with Spell Pierce because you wait. If they pay the Sentinel tax, then your Spell Pierce is just super likely to hit. I'm just going to take the 1 here. Also, not getting Blood Moon. I will be exceptionally happy if they do Blood Moon. Okay, so I think I like Stoneforge, and then if they counterspell, we pierce back. Ooh, dress down. Okay. So, okay, cool. So we get to counter this dress down now, which is really nice because we deny them a card off of that and the Stoneforge resolves, meaning I'm just going to go get a hammer here, or a Shadow Spear, because we already have the hammer. Yep, this is fine. And then next turn we can play Shadow Spear plus Stoneforge in the Nettle Cyst. If they deal with the Stoneforge right now, then if we draw land, go. Okay, so they're killing the Stoneforge right now, which makes sense. Do they pay the tax? I'm kind of fine either way. Okay, they do. Okay, so now this has Delirium. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. If they tap out and we draw a land, we get to go pretty crazy. Okay, fine. Okay, I think we just go Paladin, Shadow Spear, draw a card, hope to hit a land, draw another card. All right, that's not bad, honestly. Okay, so we kept a 3-lander, have not seen another land in a bunch of draw steps, but it's fine. Of course, we knew this was a reality. That's why we did it anyway, because of course we have the second Paladin on backup. I would really like a Izzet Murktide throw. Okay, so we can Ink Moth. Okay, yeah, we're actually in pretty good shape here. So we can Ink Moth, Paladin, Hammer off of Ink Moth, and play Sentinel. Yeah, it seems pretty good. And hope they don't kill us. So hope they don't have exactly bolt. Yeah, all right. And I'm putting them here because we could put the Shadows. Yeah, because this will double tax them, and the Paladins, well, they would have to, so in order to double heat the Paladin, they would have to, yeah, I don't think, because yes, they would have to have exactly double Unholy Heat plus make it Delirious, but I could just not play into that and be that. It's pretty greedy to just put the Shadow Spear on the Sentinel when we don't need Brotherhood's End. That's really gross. All right, yeah, so we're not quite dead. I guess the good news is if we hit a cheap artifact, we still win. Okay, so we go Hammer here, go Hammer. Oh no, they're dead anyway. Yeah, because we just play Saga, that gets us the extra mana. Yeah, all right, okay, draw a card, play Saga. Yeah, we're just going to be attacking for lethal with the Pure Steel. Thanks, Inkmoth, for being all reliable. And there we go. Brotherhood's End, what a beat. Still not super used to playing around that card, but I also think in a lot of scenarios, unless you have exactly actual Spell Pierces, there's not a lot of play. Cool. So I will see y'all in round 5. Ooh, we fighting. All right, we are back for round 5 with all pieces of the combo and an Inkmoth. I would really love a blue source, but I'd keep this 5. We unfortunately are on the draw again. Took the ambitious line of being on the draw. Okay, well, glad we have a fast hand at least. So I think we're going for a turn 3 kill with the Inkmoth. And if we're doing that, we can still play out the Ornithopter, that's fine. If we're doing that, then we probably just want to hold up this Pierce, because I guess if we draw exactly another Hammer, we kill them on turn 2 with the Ornithopter Sigarda's Aid. I kind of yeah, I think this is fine. I think going for the guaranteed turn 3 kill is pretty good while holding up Spell Pierce on turn 1. Okay, yep. And so we'll go ahead and pierce this. Hollowed Fountain. Yes, I will. Okay, yeah, you got it. Pretty happy. Okay, so we know they can't Tron us next turn, so it's probably really safe to just Hammer hit them for 10, because we can't go for the turn 3 kill if we pierce anyway. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do another Hammer. I guess just all right, Tenya. Okay, obviously I just want to draw it. Seems pretty hard for them to win from this spot. Okay, yeah. So generally I'm actually not a huge fan of Spell Pierce in this matchup, but whatever. What you gonna do? So Lavinia is great because she reads, each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands that player controls. So even if Tron is making 7 mana, they can't cast a non-creature that costs more than 3. Because I like Prismatic Ending, especially on the draw, because for 1 mana you can nab like an Expedition map or something like that. That's the same consideration for March of Otherworldly Light. Haywire Might is also fine, and Needle is a consideration. I don't think it's great, though. They are usually a Boseiju deck, so Blacksmith Skill is tempting to keep, but I'm not super huge on it. Giver of Runes is also like slow and grindy, and Esper Sentinel is kind of even slower. It can be okay, but so I don't hate the Needle. I like Sentinel a little bit more than Giver, simply because it is an artifact for an Earl craft off of the Pure Steel Paladin. But in terms of like what tricks to keep, Pierce, Skill, I'm never totally sure against Tron. So, Nettle Cyst sucks. Nettle Cyst is really... so I think we can keep like 1 skill at least. We can also Canopy. Got the Canopy for... Since we didn't have a lot of the... Since we cut most of the skills, I'm fine bringing in the extra Pierce. All right, yeah, let's try it. And of course, Giver's extra bad because most of the time you want to give Pro colorless, but that means your equipment fall off. His hand's pretty slow. If I was on the play, I'd probably keep it because we have the turn 1 Pierce, but that hand's like really slow. They mold to 6. I think this hand's probably fine, and we just bottom the planes here. I know that this hand is basically the same as the other one, but the 6. Yep. So we're just gonna play Windswept Heath, pass. Okay. I dig it. Actually, they're like almost definitely just cracking the map, right? So. Yeah, we'll just fetch Shock, Sigarda's Aid. Like, I have trouble picking a world in which they aren't just cracking the... Alright, well, hopefully they go for just like 7 mana Karn and we get them. I don't think that's going to happen. I've seen dumber things happen. Yeah, maybe we're supposed to go to 5. I think it's pretty close. Blast Zone. Okay, cool with that one. Now, oh my god, this hand. A 7-drop, please. Okay, we can beat Wormcoil. Oh, hey, Pierce. Sweet. We can also like draw a Needle, which would be cool. Trying to think playing Shadow Spear is risky because that makes their Blast Zone even more potent. But I think using my mana, we probably don't have to run out the Shadow Spear. This is probably okay. Not really what I want, but all right. Yeah, so I think the plan will probably just be make a construct here. It is nice that Blast Zone can't address the constructs themselves. Gain 6. Like a big jerk. Okay, they did not play Blast. This is not Meteor Golem or Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Honestly, this could be a lot worse. -1. Okay, sure. I don't think I can kill them, but we're gonna try. My life total does matter a little bit here because of the stupid Wormcoil engine. Okay. So if we don't make a construct, and we just float mana, we go get Needle, name Blast Zone, then we probably go grab Stoneforge Mystic and play... Honestly, do we care about the Ugin if we Needle the Blast Zone? We can Needle the Blast Zone, make a construct, play a tapped Temple Garden so we don't die to like Bolt plus. We will need to... Okay, so we're almost definitely needling Blast Zone, right? Like that we can say. So what are we doing with the rest of our... So we want to simultaneously ensure that the constructs don't die. Or at least like, I mean, do we care about direct dying? If they're killing the construct, I'm probably pretty happy with that. We go get... And then we play Stoneforge Mystic, probably go grab Hammer, play Hammer. And then if they... hit the construct, I'm not actually that torn up about it. Yeah, so we'll just float mana here. Yeah, Needle, name Blast Zone. Okay. And we go get a Hammer here. And then probably play tapped Temple Garden, play Hammer, attack Ugin? Yeah. Okay, and then we... can also just crack them for 3, put them to 13 or 23. I think we just need to attack the... Fortunately. All right. And if they don't kill the Stoneforge, we can always just block the engine if we really, of course. This also kind of relies on them having just the Blast Zone and nothing else. I don't think I can beat Blast Zone plus other thing after like Natural Trod and Stoneforge down. That makes sense. Go to 4. So I need to hit like a Ginger Brute as well. Oh, okay. Sure. This could be worse. All right, I mean, let's start here. You are so late to the party. So we can suit up the Construct, hit the Karn, probably correct. Yeah, because otherwise Karn just eats the needle. Yeah, so I needed them to brick one more time, and they at all. They probably kill the Pure Steel with the Spirit Dragon here, and I need to find a lot of action. But we get to be on the play for game 3, which is relevant. That checks out. Oh no. Okay. All right. Honestly, could be worse. Sanctum of Ugin. Yeah, that's a good hit because now if they find any more fatties, are they attacking? They are not attacked. 6. I don't think I play the Lavinia, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I play Lavinia, they can just tick up on her. But I kind of would rather they tick up on her than ticking up on me. All right, trying to think what we are hoping to draw here. 1, we need them to brick. Yep, she did. Okay, played the Sanctum. Okay, it's a redraw. Okay, that's another redraw. Don't redraw me, bro. Okay, definitely set until the next end step, but all right, whatever. Moto every. All right, well, don't think we're winning this one. Probably should have just gone to 5. We haven't seen any Force of Vigors from them, so that's nice as well. Yeah, you have a billion D mana. That will do it. So, how do we want to board? Do we want to board any? I don't mind Sentinels as much. I'll play Here's. I kind of almost would rather have Blacksmith skill on the play. Change anything. Path would have been fine there, but that's the exception rule. Still think Sentinel pretty poor here. So, I'm about it. Yes, I will be on the play. That is unfortunate. All right, yeah, this hand, shoot, this hand doesn't have an equipper. We have a turn 3 Cauldra, but that's it. Okay, this is so, so we're bottoming Hammer Saga, probably. The 6s, they kept 7, what a jerk. This hand's really bad, man. I think we just go to, well, all right. Our luck officially ran out. 3. All right, keep, whatever. What we do, okay, so we have 3-card hand, right? I think we're just keeping these 3. Well, okay. Put 4 cards on the bottom. Gotta keep the sock, which means we need to keep Drum, Ornithopter. Yeah, and we need to hit like exactly land off the top. This is this is really rough. Is there a world where we just go Temple Garden, Urza's Saga, Pure Steel Paladin? Keep those 3? No way. There's no way that's correct. Yeah. I'm absolutely fine losing to that. Yeah, let's do it. I do need to pay. All right, land one time. Land one time, please. At least I know the 4 was on. Okay. So we're in it. You're saying there's a chance. And I will fetch Shock right now. There is a chance. Like if we draw a Paladin off the top, we probably win the game. That'd be insane if I went on a Mull to 3. Wait, they kept a 1-land hand? All right, well, I'm upset. I gave them way too much respect. 1-land hand. Are you kidding me? Let's go. All right, I'm sending that as well to send a message. We're sending a message with these Ornithopters. All right. I mean, okay, another Nature's Claim probably. Okay. Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, you got it. They might have to go to discard here. Urza's Mine. Yeah, you got it. I hope I just draw like a Lavinia. All right. Well, they're dead in 2 turns as it is. Are they dismembering? No. All right. Ooh, okay. So that is a mana ability. So we make a construct here probably. So if we make a construct, we hit them for 5, put them to 7, and then untap. If they kill one of the constructs, the other one is still a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we make another 5, and then Ginger Brute is an extra 1. Yeah, I mean, all right, what you got? Like, I don't know. I feel like I did what I could this game. I don't think the 7 or the 6 were very good at all. The 5 just didn't have a way to equip, and the 4 didn't. Oh, okay. What? Okay. And move to discard. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So if we tap Saga, we make a dude and then probably grab a chromatic or probably grab a drum so we can play Needle or Haywire Might. Yeah, let's make the dude. Trying to think what else. Like Dismember doesn't do it. We just get a drum here. We can play drum, Needle, name Oblivion Stone probably. Yeah. Which one we tap here? Oh, Mull to 3! Mull to 3! Let's go! Oh my gosh, deck's too good. Also, opponent just shouldn't have kept the hand, so... Okay, I will see y'all in the debrief. Okay, just as a quick reminder, we did lose one game during that set, but so be it, so be it. Opponent's hand was very good. Anyway, so here's the 75 currently. Really happy with it. You could totally play another Sanctifier right now. It really kind of depends on what you expect the meta to be. There still isn't as much breach as I expect, so Draenith Magistrate's certainly an eligible card to cut as well if you don't expect much Cascade or Underworld Breach. And so I think you could cut that. If you are expecting like elementals and things like that to pick up, then you could also replace these with Hushbringers. You know, I love me Hushbringers. But otherwise, deck felt super clean. Paradise Mantle, super good, but we don't have Chip as a mana sink, like to go really nuts off the Paladin. We also don't have like the Steel Shaper's Gift to go find it as reliably, and so I think it's fine. You can totally still play Paradise Mantle. I would fully support it. Right now, I think just playing 3 drums is really clean, really simple. The other reason, so the secret reason I prefer 3 drums is I don't have to worry about, oh, do I cut the Paradise Mantle or do I cut the drum in this matchup when I'm boarding? So just makes my life easier. Still don't miss Memnite. We don't need that card. And I've liked the 23rd land quite a bit. I think having your land drops is really good. I'm a huge fan. So I'll probably be sticking with 23 lands for right now, especially since it also just gives you like a free additional green source for Haywire Might. So right now, yeah, we have 23 lands. 16 white sources, which it's nice to go up to 16. And we have 16 white sources, 10 green sources, and then of course the 11 blue. So pretty good, pretty clean mana. Nettle Cyst, I think, is definitely the flex equipment you want. Some people are playing Sword of Fire and Ice. I don't think you need that card. And I think Nettle Cyst being a body is really, really relevant. It also oftentimes adds more power than a Sword of Fire and Ice will provide you. But anyway, happy with the Pierces, the skills, and the Giver split right now. Pierce, obviously, our creativity opponent mulled to 5 both games, but definitely a matchup where the blue splash really does a ton of work. The spell pierces are incredible at almost every stage of that matchup. And so this is exactly the list that I would be playing right now if I was going to play in an event, either this weekend or coming few weeks before anything changes. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be dropping some updated matchup analysis coming up in the next day or two, hopefully, on the Patreon. Y'all are awesome, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.